Hey folks, it's time, your frugal prepper. I'm out here with the Mopar PT Cruiser car of shame. I've been off sick all week with some colds and bronchitis and stuff, and in the middle of feeling bad, my wife called and said, car won't start. Got their dead battery, charged it up a little bit. She drove it around, things seemed fine. A little bit later, she shut the car off for a while, won't start. So let me show you what's going on. This is a pretty common pattern failure on these PT Cruisers. So what it is this turn signal switch assembly, and I'll show you two things. One is, if you turn this on to delay, the dome lights will stay on indefinitely until you shut them to off. There's no delay functionality. And then if you wiggle this around, you'll see that bright beam light comes on. Sometimes that'll stay on, but when that is staying on, you can see the reflection, I think, on the bumper here. It's actually turning on. You see we're on the fog lights here. Okay, so I'll go ahead and wiggle this switch, show you what's happening. So those fog lights will come on, and sometimes they'll actually stay on. So, and you'll see when they're staying on, this little high beam light will kind of light up. There they are, now they're staying on. And if it gets in just the right position, they stay on with the key off. It sucked the battery dead. Plus, if the dome light gets turned on, that sucks it dead. So what I did to get her by, shut the dome lights off and pull the number 8 fuse for the fog lights. She's been getting by that way, but this turn signal turn signal, and it's got all your light controls. This control assembly needs to be yanked out and replaced. It's actually a pretty simple process. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is pull this cover down. Right there, simple enough. Then there's 2 Phillips screws up here underneath we're going to take out. Okay, so should just be a couple of screws right here, I believe. Okay, then the other screw's right over here. Come on. Oh. Okay, there's our other screw. Take off the hair scrunchie tie. And I believe this should just pop off of here. Go ahead and tilt the steering wheel down a little. There we go. That one. There. There's 2 clips in the back. You can see those. We should be able to get this top one out. And now we see here's the assembly we need to take out. There's some wires in the back. I'll go ahead and take this loose. And there's just 2 Torx bit screws right here in the top. Right here. And right here, we're going to take those out. Alright, so let me find the right Torx bit. Next size up. There, okay. So this is a Oh heck, I can't read it. T20. That's what it is. So we'll just take these out. Okay, we'll take the other one out. Alright, so those are out. Oh. So now this should be loose, and it is. So there's just these two little red locking tabs on these two connectors. You gotta slide those lock tabs out and get this whole thing to come loose back here. Let me get a flat tip screwdriver. Okay, so let's put this little red locking tab back a little. There we go. Squeeze down on the connector. That comes out. I think there's one more back over here on the other side. It's a little bit funner to get to. That whole assembly comes out. This has got a relay on it here. And this is your wiper unit. We're going to remove this wiper unit and put it on the new piece. And this whole piece here comes in the new part. Here's these two connectors with the locking tabs. Right there, you just gotta slide these red tabs back and squeeze. This is my new part. This is a BWD from China, from the Advanced Auto Parts. You can get these online too. I'll put a link down below. With my 30% off coupon, I got this for around 46 bucks or something with tax. Hopefully it'll last. We'll see. You might want to spend $100 and some and get the Wells one. Might last you a little longer. But it looks like there's some tiny Torx bits here that we have to take off to get this unit out. Looks like we might need to pull this relay out right here. I think if we just take these two screws out, we're set. Let me get my Torx bits. Okay, let's find the one that fits. I'm going to start with the smallest one. It's a little loose next to the smallest. So this should be like a T15, I do believe. It's a T10. Okay. We'll just take these out. It slides out like so. Nothing spectacular there. Slide this part into the new unit. There it goes. Where does it go? Oh, that's lame. There's something wrong. I think it goes just like this. Yeah. See, there's these two little plastic pieces here and here. So there's no electrical connections to this back to the main unit. It just mechanically slides in here and locks. So the connector is facing backwards for the plug. Boom. And then we just put these two screws back in here. started here. Alright, now we just gotta put this back in the new, with this new unit in, and we should be good to go. Let me say, don't forget to put your relay back in here. And look, see how it lines up, just like so. I bet this is the hazard light relay. There. That goes right there. Alright, okay, so now I'm just gonna put this back in. I'm just gonna go ahead and plug in these connections right here. Where they go. I can get to them. Kind of tricky. Flip my rear lock tab up. There, okay. Now we'll go ahead and put our T-top screws back in here. Alright, now we'll go ahead and put our top cover back on. Put our bottom cover on and clip it in place. Get it around this steering wheel tilt control. Clip these back clips in. And we'll replace the 2 screws on the bottom. We'll just flip up this cover back into place, like so. I'll go ahead and replace my fuse for the fog lights. Put the cover back on. Then we'll just test everything here. Make sure it works. It's all good. Turn signal, hazard lights. Alright, so that's how you do that quick little job. There's some videos out there on YouTube on how to tear that apart and redo the connections inside of it. But I just decided to go with a new one because I don't want it to happen again. Have my wife stranded somewhere with a dead battery. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to do an OEM part. But I think you probably, if you want to spend the money on a good part, would be farther ahead to get a Wells, because they continuously test and improve parts that have common failures. And in my opinion, Wells is pretty good stuff. Alright, well, I got a little bit of cold going on here, so I'm just gonna end the video now. Hopefully that'll help somebody if they have this problem. It's a real simple fix for somebody to do it themselves and not have to pay a lot of shop labor on it. I'll talk to y'all later. This is Tom, your Frugal Prepper.